One of the characteristics of this particular development is that in each house there's a wall that has no windows on it. And so I wanted to make that wall feel more interesting than just a blank surface. So what you'll see here is that I've used depth to give a sense of character to this space, and I've used color to make the backs of the shelves and the backs of the alcoves differentiated from the front. So it adds a lot of personality to this space, and I call this wall thickness, and an interesting wall thickness gives you a sense of much more personality for that particular space. So if you have a spot where you don't have a lot of character, this is a very simple principle to implement, and it gives you extra storage as well. You'll also notice from here that there's a connecting view and a pass-through between the living room entry area and the kitchen. This is a wonderful spot to sit and talk with somebody as they're cooking, but also feel connected with the living room. So you can get a sense from this side how nice that connection is. There's a lot of other things going on in this kitchen as well. First of all, let me point you to the medallion of tile above the cooktop. This is what I call a point of focus, and in any kitchen it really is improved tremendously by taking that space between the hood and the cooktop and making something special of it. You'll also notice that there's a lot of ceiling height variety in this room as well. The soffit has task lighting in it that brings light right down to the countertop. That soffit is also banded with a cherry trim line, and that cherry trim line becomes the trellis that is sheltering the kitchen island. This is a subtle demarcation between the kitchen and the eating area. You could live without it, but it does something wonderful to differentiating space from space. And notice that the eating area itself is a banquette. It has almost a built-in couch around it, and then the table is set against that. This saves an enormous amount of square footage. So by having the table become something that can serve both formal and informal functions, you end up with this lovely space close to the porch, close to where food is being prepared, but should you want to use it for a formal occasion, this raised countertop actually hides all the dirty dishes, so it's the best of all worlds. But if you really want to have a formal occasion, there's a space in the living room that can actually convert to a formal dining room when you need it. You pick up the table from this space, you move it into the library alcove, you move the living room furniture around a bit, and you've got the perfect space for a Thanksgiving dinner. Another principle that I often write about is called theme and variations. Just like a piece of music, a house benefits greatly from having theme and variations, a form or a pattern that's repeated in several places throughout the space. This window, which is actually a design that I did for Marvin Windows, it's my dream window, and here it is in our house. It's also repeated in pattern on the roof deck, as there's a little window that looks out over the alley and the trees beyond. And so you'll see how theme and variations can really tie a house together in a unique way.